World premiere of the new Golf R and Golf R variant. The power is up from 320 horsepower to 333, and it can now reach a top speed of up to 270 kilometers an hour. This new model debuts with a new design in the front, new light systems, a Volkswagen badge that is now illuminated for the first time, a new 19-inch forged wheel, and a new infotainment system. The main thing is to provide a great price for what you are offered with in the sporty category of a hatchback and a station wagon. What we know so far is that in Germany, the Golf R and the Golf R variant are equipped as standard with the adaptive DCC, running gear, and are at the same time less expensive. The new Golf R Black Edition with a top speed of 270 kilometers an hour will be launched with the darkened Volkswagen badges and the performance package. The power of 333 horsepower has only been available on special earlier models, but is now standard. The variant model has never had this much power, and 0 to 100 kilometers an hour has been shortened to 4.6 seconds for the hatchback and 4.8 seconds for the variant. The top speed has been increased by 20 kilometers an hour up to 270 kilometers an hour by adding the performance package. This makes the Golf R models the world's fastest Volkswagens, together with the Arton R shooting brake. New air curtains in the bumper, new LED taillight clusters, and the new optionally available 19-inch Vermenau forged wheels. Inside, you get the latest generation infotainment system with a visually freestanding display and a new menu structure. With the performance package, you get a new digital cockpit Pro that has also been enhanced with a new G-meter and a GPS lap timer. Despite the increased power, new generation infotainment system, numerous improvements to the finer details, and DCC adaptive chassis control system is now included at no extra cost. The R Black Edition is designed to have a completely dark look and has a top speed of 270 kilometers an hour, and this is due to it has the performance package standard. It's got the 19-inch Estoril wheels, 19-inch Vermenau forged wheels. It also has darkened Volkswagen badges, R logos, black R brake calipers with a dark R logo, and black tailpipe trims. Darkened IQ Light LED matrix headlights are also standards. The performance package is a bit more aimed towards these people who wants to drive on track. And in this package comes Drift and Special. And the Special mode was specifically adapted to the Nürburgring Nordschleife. The new high-tech rims are a lot lighter, about 20% than the comparable alloy wheels. This reduces the unsprung masses and ensures perfect handling. It improves the stability and also wear resistance, as the brakes are cooled even more effectively and are thus subject to less thermal stress, especially on racetracks. The new IQ LED matrix headlights, they offer 15% longer range for the first time. The new freestanding touchscreen is 32 centimeters diagonal. In addition, operation of the multifunction steering wheel has been optimized. New on board is the IDA voice assistant, which can be used to control classic functions such as the air conditioning, telephone, or the navigation system, and to activate specific features such as the driving profiles and race mode. The engine develops its maximum torque of 420 Nm in the engine speed range from 2,100 to 5,500 RPM. The engine speed values alone already make it clear that this turbocharged engine has no turbo lag and spontaneously unleashes maximum dynamic power in every driving situation. The performance of the new Golf R generation is further enhanced in the raised driving profile. This can be activated by means of the blue R button in the left steering wheel trim on the infotainment system or by voice control. In this case, the turbocharger is preconditioned so that it is kept at a higher turbine speed even when driving under partial load, for example, at a constant speed on country roads. As a result, power delivery is more spontaneous as soon as the vehicle accelerates again. Numerous enhanced performance features that make driving this Volkswagen a special experience. The engine start with higher speeds is one example. If the driver presses the engine start button without brake operation for at least 1.5 seconds and then starts the engine by pressing the brake pedal, the starting speed briefly automatically increases to 2,500 RPM. MK 8.5, that's what they call it, so it's more or less a little facelifted version. It's been tweaked a little, but let's just start with the front facial here, and you can see that it expresses some new touches. This lit up emblem in the front, I think that looks really, really good. I mean, imagine that rolling in at night. That looks really, really good. And also the front down here, the inlets, they are a bit new. There's also something here. This one, it wasn't on the MK8 version, so it transports the air a bit better. So some aerodynamical job done there as well. And these new 19-inch forged rims, they look really good in this polished black look. You get 333 horsepower in this one. The earlier one had 320 horsepower, so a bit pumped up there. There was an anniversary model which had 333 horsepower, but on the R versions now, you get 333. Estate version, it becomes like a mini family racer. You can put in almost 2 sets of extra race tires if you want. Facelifted at the back here with the rear lights. It looks good. It looks aggressive, but in a very subtle way. So the boot space, 611 liters. And of course, if you want some more space, just fold down the rear seats. And this becomes some sort of a transporter. And let's jump inside. So in here, it is about the same. It looks clean, it looks good, it is a bit dark. You get this panoramic roof, but it's very driver focused in here. And this cluster, there is a lot of information and you can set it in so many ways. And if you're a bit tech orientated, well, you'll find all that rather fun. I think it can be a bit cluttery sometimes, but you'll get around it. And it's good. You can get an integrated lap timer in this one. GPS-based lap timer, so you don't need to sit and push every time you reach the start or the finish line. And that's really good. So you can set different sectors as well when you're driving on the track. I like that. In the R versions, you still get these haptic touches. That's just because they couldn't fit it with the physical buttons, which you can get in the GTI Club Sport version. That's just because the R button here, which is now, well, you need to push it a bit harder to get into that mode. And that, you know, was a bit too responsive before, because you could easily brush this one when you were driving, and you can brush this heated steering wheel. So it is, yeah, you need to put some more force into it, so that's very good. I also like this steering wheel. It is very racy. Big long paddle shifters here, so whenever you cross your arms you can shift and move about with the gearing, and I like that. Otherwise, it is about the same in here. As I said, you get some physical buttons here. You can easily get into the assist if you want to unclick some of that safety settings. This new big screen, better graphics, it's much more responsive, and also, which was dug into some more complicated systems or menus before, was the ESC. And in a car like this, you want to turn that off completely and swiftly. You just get into that one and then ESC aus. Well, this is a pre-production car now, so we don't have it in any other language. Of course, it's set for the language in the country that you're in, but that's just what it is. Very simple. I like that one. It covers some of the side up here. I would like to have it a bit more integrated, because it could take some attention. When you drive a car that is very, you know, like purely set for the track or racing or driving for that matter, well, you don't want anything that bothers you. So this one, it is a bit too high to my liking. It should have been placed a bit further down, but that's what it is right now. And down here you get this little knob here to shift about, drive, sport, and you start the engine, get into park, hold, and I think this is an induction charger down here, lit up in that blue color. Well, it looks good. Some cup holders, and the seats, they are racy, very supportive like these ones, but they're very, very comfy at the same time. But when you drive on track, which I've done with this car many, many times, I find them very nice. And also, of course, if you get into the systems again, let's push the R button here, then you get into those different drive modes. Comfort, Eco, Sport, Race, Individual. You can set so many stuff in here. But you can also get into Special, and then you get the Nürburgring mode. And that worked really well on one of our test tracks that we were driving on, because it had some elevation on it and some compression points. So it becomes a bit softer compared to the race mode, which is a lot stiffer. You can get into drift mode, of course, but this drift mode, it has the same torque differential in this car. So you can't do these wild drifts. as we noticed earlier on this one. Even though we tried to Scandinavian flick it hard, you could just get it to a certain degree of drift, and then it stopped there. So a little pity, and they haven't done anything on that. So it's a carryover part from the MK8 to this MK8.5. But this car is very focused. I like the driving style of this one. You know, you can get out on the Autobahn and do 250 kilometers easily in this one, but it's not fun in a car like this. You should set it on the racetrack or on some curvy roads. That's what it's meant for, because it delivers. And it's also a perfect car for that person who wants to get into active driving, taking it on track days and becoming a better driver. It's almost like a, I always say that, mini R8, because you progressively become a better driver in this one. It is just so reliable, this car. It is predictable, it doesn't get out of hand, and having this four-wheel driven system, which is just great, the power and everything is distributed so well, so you have a lot of fun. Also, this windscreen vibrates a little to amplify some extra sound into the car. There is some sound coming from the speakers, and also, of course, that titanium exhaust system from Akropovich. Well, it sounds good. A little maybe premature with these pops and bangs, but it's a racy, cool car, and this variant version, I like it. The back seat is, you know, spacious enough. I like the seats. They are rather comfortable. I like the backrest. It's very soft, and here you're going to be transported, so you want to sit in a more relaxed way. Supportive, you get two cup holders here. You can change the climate control down here, USB-C, nice seats in front of you that you can look at, and this big panoramic roof. Well, lets in a lot of light, and you need that in a car that is rather dark inside. But if you have kids that are not too tall, well, they will sit back here perfectly well. And also as an adult, I'm 175 centimeters, and this works well for me. Good space to the roof, and what more do you need? Well, you'll sit tight in these seats when the speed increases. You get a ski bag here, you can put some skis in there if you want. The space back here is just good. This is the normal hatchback. We looked at the variant, but here you get some different touch on the rims, a bit more chrome style. Looks really good. It's not as blacked out. And also side mirrors in silver, of course, looks the same here with that illuminated emblem. And look in here, now we got a bit more spiced up color. I like this one. Look at this gray seats in Alcantara, and you got some blue touches on it as well. Carbon fiber here. This is a bit more lively in here. So that blacked out version, we'll have a look at that later. But this grayer, lighter tone, I really like it. For me, feels better, looks better. So which one of these do you think looks better? Well, for me, I think that variant version, well, it feels a bit more mature. But for most audience, maybe this one is the one. You know, a classic hatchback look, a la Golf. And yeah, it looks aggressive, and it is aggressive. And look at this one, well, blacked out. This is the black edition, and what do you think about this one? Well, it's a bit more Batman over this. It's black all the way through, and I must say that I think it gives it another appearance of being really hardcore, a bit, you know, aftermarket style where someone has wrapped it or something, but this comes from the factory like this. And well, black rims, black all the way through. I think it looks rather neat. The R emblem is black there. You get this little plaque where it says black. So it's black, black, black. Black tone on the rear windows, and also the tailpipes. They're also black. No, I like this one. I think it looks cool. This looks cooler than the other ones. But I like light colors. When you step in here, it's also black. But we're already run through all of this stuff, so yeah, nothing to report here. more than its